Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wrassle Graps. My name is Chris,
My name is Vincent.
and we're here today talking about Night of Champions. Guys, glad to be doing this review. It really felt like the universe was just trying to get us to not do it.
Yeah, that's how it felt. The internet went out, the brain started pouring, and there was no way to do it.
Furniture, man, you get stuck with furniture.
Furniture, there's a lot of stuff going on. But we're here.
We're here. It might be a little later than we intended, but it's happening. It's getting done.
Exactly.
So let's, without further ado, kick straight into this review here. Start off the men's finals for the King of the Ring tournament. The Orton versus Cody match. It was good. It was all right.
Yeah, I thought the match was pretty good. I hear it's a special Saudi Arabia show, so I have star ratings for these matches.
I forgot about this.
Yes. And I don't know why I made them, but I'm going to try and figure out reasons for it. But I
You did it
mean, I
as
guess the reason for this one is because he tried to go for the punk kick, and then he was like, I don't know about doing that. We started like arguing with his voices or whatever. And then he was going to do it, but then Cody reversed it.
The thing about this match is, if you expect it to be super methodical and a little slow paced, then you're right. That's exactly what it was. And I went in there knowing that you were surprised by this for some reason. I don't know
Was
why.
I surprised? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I was like, dude, this is what you didn't think it would be this? And you're like, no, I thought it'd be different. And I was like, why? It's a Randy Orton match.
Well, I thought Cody could bring the best out of Randy, but I guess that's wrong, and he couldn't bring the best out of John Cena. So not really sure what I expect.
No, for a fact, Randy Orton said, hey, look, we're gonna do a good match, but we're not gonna go that crazy for Saudi
He's
Arabia.
certainly no Sheamus.
No, he ain't built like that. But you know what? It is what it is. Match happened. Cody won. He's king of the ring, and he's going to SummerSlam to get a title match, most likely against John Cena.
I feel like whatever people think that Sami Zayn is, Cody actually is.
I don't know. I don't want to give him that label.
I'm gonna say that shit, brother. Because what the fuck, man? I feel like
I,
Cody is the one being forced, if anything.
I really don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. He doesn't feel genuine as much as he did in the past.
I think that the Cena feud really knocked him back a little bit, and that was
That's what
rough.
it. That's what it was, man. The Cena feud that really took a turn for Cody Rhodes. I'd say not in the heel turn, but you know.
I think him not winning the belt at WrestleMania 39, though it's the right decision, the road to get to it at 40 was a little rough. And then after he won the title at 40, they didn't seem to really know what to do with him for a bit there. And then he lost the belt to Cena in a very underwhelming match. So it's kind of in a weird spot right now where I'm not the biggest Cody guy, but I have nothing against him. It's just the booking.
He's supposed to be like a super level. He's supposed to be John Cena, right? But like basically the person that John Cena was. That's what Cody's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Is I don't know. I'm not really too fond of that.
But look, man, if you're saying he's like John Cena, he's a face, and he's like the person he used to be, and you're not feeling it, then he's doing his job. He's just like John Cena used to be.
I guess that's true. But I mean, I'm
That's
not saying John
exactly what you
Cena the
described.
way he used to be was perfect.
No, John Cena really. I don't get on board the Cena train until about 20. I want to say 16. Whenever he did the U.S. Open Challenge stuff, that's when I really got on the board with the Cena thing.
I think the thing about Cody was like he could be like John Cena of old, but at least he puts on good matches. But now he hasn't put on good matches, so now it's like, what are we doing?
He had a good match with Randy. I think the problem with the Cena match is that was the first singles match Cena had in a long time, and it really showed that he didn't know how to work the heel gimmick yet. He's still kind of figuring it out. So I think
Right.
they had a hard time with that, and plus the fact that The Rock did whatever nonsense he did, and the Travis Scott thing. It just there's a lot of bad stuff about that match.
I mean, you got to think though, who else could have been King of the Ring except for Cody?
I don't know. I don't know who else was in this tournament. I forget.
Because it can't be Randy Orton, and certainly Jey Uso. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
Um,
it doesn't. It does not.
so, so who else would be the King of the Ring besides Cody?
He makes sense, and I understand why they did it, but you know, I just
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm not feeling Cody right now. Maybe Cody can improve with some promos and in-ring work eventually down the line. I'm not gonna write him off.
The problem with this tournament is that the winner gets a title shot. So at SummerSlam. So inherently, whoever's winning this then has to go on to lose at SummerSlam. So I don't want to say like, oh, it should have been Solo, or it should have been Braun Breaker, or Bronson Reed, or
It should
Penta.
have been Solo.
I would have been fine with that, but then you get Solo versus Cena, and that's
It should have been Solo, especially because he would have ran around with the gimmick.
I would have loved to have seen that, but then Solo loses to Cena, and you're like, and they're not gonna mesh well together. They're both heels now, so it'd just be weird.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I thought Cody. I mean, Solo could eventually be a great babyface.
I don't know. I feel like he's really good at what he is now.
Oh, perfect. He's a great like little shitty heel. That's for sure.
What do you think he'd be as a babyface? That's literally just what Jacob Fatu is doing now, and he's doing
Kind
it
of.
better
Yeah.
than Solo would, honestly.
I think that the charm of Solo in his comedy is what makes him a possible babyface run very good for him.
And I agree with that. It's just I liked the NXT version where he was just more about kicking ass and winning titles, and that was just it.
I like that. I like that version of Solo the best. I don't know why he's not like that.
Well, the thing is, after they didn't book him right after he beat Cena at whatever Saudi show that was.
Right. Well, anyway, this match, I'm going to give it a 2.5 stars out of 5.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, for those who got a little lost there, like we did, that is for the Cody and Orton match. That's what he's giving
Exactly.
it. If we're
Yeah.
gonna do this, I guess I'll also give him ratings. Um,
Don't steal my gimmick.
I will give it a solid 3.5
Okay, okay. It's a bit above the 3-star rating.
because what I expected it to be, and I had a decent time watching it, so whatever.
Common 3-star Cody over here.
3.5 star code.
For you, I mean, for me, it's 2.5. I dropped them low, you know.
I guess he averages out to 3 stars, so
I
fair
should
enough.
really go up. I should really change my scoring up a bit because it should be like a 2.3, stuff like that.
You told me the day we did this, you were gonna be the what's it called? Dave, what's his name?
Dave Portnoy of
Yeah,
wrestling. But I mean, of
that.
course, not the dog shit assholeness, but the rating system.
I was gonna have him do a gimmick where he said that one of his matches kicked him out of their pizza restaurant, and I guess he gets 0 stars because of that.
That would be funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a little off topic, but I did see a video of him getting kicked out of a pizza joint.
I think that's fake. That one's fake. That's fake.
I'm not entirely convinced. Assuming it's probably not real, right? But I'm
Yeah,
not entirely convinced in general. If he got kicked out of a pizza restaurant, I'm not entirely convinced it wasn't partially his fault. Just throwing it out.
he's definitely at fault for all of this. Yeah, I feel like
But
pizzerias are not perfect by any means, for sure. They'll mess up your stuff, but I think it depends on what attitude you come at them with.
it really does. You gotta remember, you're dealing with, if it's in New York especially, it's older Italian men that are not in the mood for your nonsense.
Exactly. I mean, pizzeria owners.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful with the attitude you walk in there with.
Of course, or else everything can go wrong in a swift movement.
But anyway, move on to Raquel versus Rhea Ripley and what they called a Riyadh Boulevard street fight.
Oh, did we cover the interview yet of Cody Rhodes?
Oh, he basically said, "Oh, I won the thing, and when you were in school, I'm gonna go and get
Yeah,
my title back." Nice.
exactly. He's aiming for Cena or Punk, which we'll find out later.
Gee, I wonder which one.
Gee, we'll see.
So Raquel and Rhea, they have their street fight. Honestly, probably is it the best match? I'd say it's the best match on the show.
It might be. I'm not too sure what's going to come later in my ratings, but it might be the best match on the show. No, I think there's another match that was pretty good, but this one was okay.
All right, okay. I really enjoyed it. There were some nice inventive spots in this one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did enjoy this for what it's worth. I feel like the hype that was on X and social media wasn't very. Didn't live up to the hype when I saw the match on the
I
video.
I had like no expectations going into this, so I was pretty much open to whatever, and it exceeded my expectations. So I'll give it a solid 4.
I think it matched my expectations. That's why it's a 3-star match.
There you go, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Rhea wins that one, and then we move on to probably the most divisive match on this entire show. Well, maybe not, but one of them. Cross versus Sami Zayn. A match I enjoyed. It was very good up until the end when Cross did not win like he should have.
What the fuck happened in this match to give it a 4-star rating?
It was good until Sami Zayn won. I think he gave it a 4-star to spite me because Sami Zayn won.
That's why. Yeah, you're right. I should have given it to another match if that match didn't get a higher rating. But yeah, this match I thought it was good, and I love Sami Zayn, so that's probably why I got 4 stars.
It was good up until the ending where Cross did not win, even though he was very clearly the most over person there.
I don't think
So,
Karrion Kross needed to win this one
yes, he
specifically.
did. He did.
Not this one specifically.
This is his first important match in 2 years. Yes, he did.
Not quite. No, I think him losing is fine because now it makes him pissed. He's like, "Fuck you! You're gonna argue against me and beat me. I'm gonna beat you up too, man. I'm gonna kick your ass."
I will say my thoughts on this. Good match, but wrong winner, so 3 stars. Your hot take is 5 stars because that's insane.
4 stars it
Uh,
was.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that it was what it was. It was average at pay-per-view match for Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross.
I think the hot takes a 5. The opinion on its own it gets 0 stars. 'Cause I think he kicked me out of a pizza joint once, and I don't appreciate it.
It probably did, probably.
So then we get to Solo Sikoa, the guy that you love, and so do I. Really, I don't know why I said it like that, but him going up against Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title.
This one's tough. This was the one that really triggered a bunch of Jacob should have won, Solo should have won. Because they have like so many fans on each side.
This is one of those situations where Solo needs it more than Jacob does.
Exactly. I thought Solo winning was a nice surprise for me personally.
So Solo needed more, and the thing is, the way Jacob lost, there were like 3 guys interfering in the match against him to help Solo. So it's not like he looks weak coming out of this. So it's fine.
Exactly. I think this was done to protect Jacob, and it gets a 3.5. Man, it was one of the better matches on the show, and I really
I
did
can
enjoy the fun spots it had.
I can agree with the 3.5. It had what's his name, JC Mateo, good old Jesus Christ
Jesus
Mateo
Christ,
coming out
yeah.
there. You know, coming out there being the most out of place guy in this group, comes out to help Solo, and then what's his name, Tonga Loa shows up, returns. There he is. I missed him. Doesn't botch anything. Good for him. I think he's learning. And then you have the debut of Hikuleo joining the Bloodline.
You gotta think when you spend so much time injured, you gotta spend some time in the performance center.
I would hope so.
It's like, where did I go wrong?
I would love to see a training montage of Tonga Loa, and it's just him trying to fix the botches he did in his original run. They're like having him hold up the title the correct way, you know,
Exactly. Yeah. I
stuff
think that
like
was on
that.
purpose. Wasn't that one on purpose?
It was not on purpose. I swear to God, it was.
That one had to be on purpose.
That is the dumbest thing to do on purpose because people are already making fun of you. Why would you do that on purpose?
No, because he had the eye patch on, bro.
No, it was not on purpose.
It was on purpose.
You can see out of the other eye. It's not on purpose.
Bro is blind, half blind. Oh, come on.
Bro is a bit of a dumbass. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think at that point he was just kind of like, whatever. I'm gonna lean into it.
He's a bit of a dumbass, but he's our dumbass, and I love him for it.
Yeah, for sure. Solo Sikoa is also our dumbass, our victor in the United States Champion.
Great. I look forward to the run he's gonna have. I really think it'll be something good.
I don't think he'll be anything special, but it's fine. Okay,
Whoa, hold on, whoa.
that's because of Triple H. I'm not gonna say it's because of him.
But he's Samoan. It'll be
It's
fine.
like them trying to say that like the New Day hasn't wrestled many matches defending their championships, and that's probably because they don't see any competition in the tag team division, which might be true, because there's not much. But
It
they're
really,
also just lying because they didn't feel like booking them in title matches.
I appreciate that they at least try to give it a reason.
I do not appreciate that. What the fuck are you doing? Putting it on the New Day like that.
Difference is though, Solo Sikoa is Samoan, so they have to care, or else good old Rocky gets upset.
Roman Reigns gonna come out and say, "What are you doing?" You know,
He's gonna come
be
out
the
there and
ones.
say, "We fucking hate Triple H," and then he's going to say, "I give you a no confidence," like that segment in 2011.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, we just did the Raw review, and I forgot to mention there are people that legitimately thought that spot that Jey Uso was in yesterday. People really thought that was gonna be Roman Reigns, and God, it's gonna fucking suck to think that.
Yeah, they were throwing up the ones and they got the eats. I mean, it's crazy.
That's gonna suck. But anyway,
Frosted eats, frosted. That's probably what it was called. I think. Yeah.
the thing is, I noticed his absence too much because I went on my way to be like, okay, when do I have to deal with this nonsense? And I noticed it hadn't come all night, so I was like, all right, it's coming now. And it did. And I dealt with it fine. Other people were
That's,
incorrect.
yeah, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I was mentally prepared, so whatever.
Yeah.
So now this is probably the most controversial match on the show. Jade and
Okay, not
Asuka.
every match could be the most controversial match on the show.
No, this one morally controversial, the other one wrestling controversial.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Because this one sparked some allegations from the IWC about the Saudi crowd that allegedly may or may not be true. I'm not saying for sure because I'm not trying to get in trouble on the YouTube, but it's not a good look.
They said it was giving racist for the fans' reaction to Jade Cargill.
You know what? It might not be wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, look, it sounds wrong, but it's probably correct. Maybe allegedly.
They were booing her for no reason. She did not do anything to deserve getting booed like that.
I will say, I've seen some people. They say, "Oh, we were part of the Saudi crowd, and we just felt like she really didn't earn her spot or whatever." I'm not sure what they said, but they didn't say that they were being racist. Yeah,
Well, yeah, you're not gonna say that. No one says that.
yeah.
You gotta be crazy
I'm
to
just gonna bring
say
that
that.
up. I'm gonna bring up the other side. You feel me?
Look, now I appreciate it, but no one's gonna come out and say, "No, it was a racist thing."
I mean, some people might not have been being racist, but some people might have. You know, it is what it is. You know.
But like even on SmackDown before she did anything, bro.
Yeah, it's rough. They apparently they hated the big three, is what I heard, which
That's
is
also what I heard.
Naomi, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair.
That's not a good look. That's really not a good look.
It's not good. I mean, it looks great. It's giving racist. I'm just saying.
I feel like we obligatory had to cover that. So now that that's covered, we're gonna move on, and you can let us know your thoughts down below.
Yeah, but this match was fine. It was fine.
Look, I'm not the biggest shade person either. I have no problem with her as a person. It's just in
Not a
ring
good
she
thing
has
to
too
say after
much.
what we just said.
No, no, no. Let me finish.
Okay,
I have nothing against the person. I love the Storm attire. I thought that was cool. I
I
have
love
nothing against
that
the
tire.
person. The character, I don't mind the character. Loved her stuff in AEW because I enjoyed what they were doing until the end of the TBS title run, but that's different. I just her in ring stuff doesn't do a lot for me. And Asuka just got back. I'm a bigger Asuka fan, so I thought Asuka should have won this, but Jade did. And I was like, you know what? I didn't think that should have happened, but fine. And this was the weakest match on the show. Whatever.
I think Jade really she gives star. She's got star power to her.
I
And I
could see
think
that
that's
she's trying.
might be a little bigger than her wrestling ability, but I think it's fine. You know, I'm not really too pressed about it.
For me, she has more aura than she does in ring ability. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially because you could tell she's trying to work on it and fix it. But just at this very moment, in ring wise, it doesn't do a lot for me.
Especially when she's matched with a good worker like Asuka or somebody else. She'll put on a good match to a decent match.
Asuka was doing her damnedest, man.
I mean, she always does. She puts out her best in the ring every time. Jade as well, probably, but I mean, her best is not as good as Asuka's. So
Dude. I think they really booked themselves into the corner with it. They have to wrestle them at SummerSlam. Because I would have much rather have seen Asuka wins this, and then the next night on Raw, you have her versus Io confirmed for Evolution.
but yeah, for sure, that would have been cool. I mean, look, it could have went either way, but With the storylines they're telling now, I think it makes sense to be Jade.
I agree, and she does need it more storyline wise. I just, as a person that's a big Asuka fan, I would have liked to have seen her win.
Yeah, for sure. This match gets a 2 stars because it was all right.
It was not great.
I wasn't feeling it too much, but it was okay.
Oh, I know you're. Let's talk about the main event here. We have very differing opinions on this. Um, but let's get into it. Punk and Cena.
Jesus Christ, man, this shit sucked.
I I have very low expectations for Modern Cena, so for me, I enjoyed this more than I thought I would.
I had like decent expectations because they worked together before, you know. So you think that they put together something very similar to their previous works, but the problem is the level of drama that is in the other matches. There is that in this match.
I was enjoying it up until the Seth Rollins part.
Like you're not gonna get the same level of fucking like Money in the Bank type stuff um, of drama because this doesn't have the same build. It doesn't have the same stuff implemented into it.
These guys, I'll say it once, and I've said it before, I'll say it again though. This company got the WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main event. They captured that level of chaos and everyone loved it. And they have been trying to inorganically do it ever since, and it has not been working at all.
Yeah, for sure. Uh,
Because the in-ring stuff between Punk and Cena, I was honestly really enjoying it up until all the crazy interference nonsense.
really?
I was because honestly,
Look,
for modern Cena, you gotta admit it's better than expected.
my problem with WWE main events currently is finisher span. And how it's every main event. It's like, hit the finisher, kick out. All right, next guy, hit your finisher, kick out. All right, now I'm going to do my finisher after a little bit. Boom, kick out. And then some interference happens. You know?
The reason I give it a pass is because all my life when I've seen the AA, I've always said to myself, that's the weakest looking finisher I've seen in my life. And I think them having Punk kick out of it multiple times, for me, I'm just like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Because
that
it's
makes
just,
sense. I see that.
I can understand where you're coming from, but for me, I've always looked at it as a weak finisher. So him kicking out of it 20 times, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
But the thing is, it's like, it's your finisher. So if Cena does it, it should mean more than if someone else does. You know? So, I mean, it should obviously be more powerful if Cena hits it.
I don't think the problem is that it happened. The problem is that he does it too much.
And Punk didn't really, I mean, he was hitting multiple GTSs too, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he did. I think he had like one or two, maybe.
Maybe two at best.
One he kicked out of, which is fine. You expect that. And two, I think, was during the interference stuff. So, you know.
Yeah. There was a ref bump. Maybe that's when the ref bump happened.
So there's the ref bump, and then Seth comes out. I didn't mind the tease of the cash in. I didn't expect it to actually happen. I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. But then they jump Punk, and then Cena gets involved. And Rollins is like, what do you mean you're upset that I'm getting involved in your title match? This has nothing to do with you. And then commentary is like, why John Cena? I can't believe he's helping CM Punk. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Seth Rollins came out here with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he could very well insert himself into the match. What do you mean you don't understand why he's helping Punk?
Is that before or after he called a ref in?
This was, sorry, this was after that. So what happened is, they take out Punk. Seth calls the ref, and he
Charles
wants to
Robinson comes
cash in
running
Money
down
in the
there.
Bank. Charles comes running down, but then Cena shoulder tackles him as hard as physically possible. And he goes in the ring, and the Seth's like, "Oh, well, what do you mean you don't want me to do this? Well, I don't understand. What's going on here?" And Cena's like, "Dude, this is my match. What do you mean? What's the problem? You know what the problem is." And then commentator's like, "Oh, I don't understand why is Cena doing this. Is he a good guy now?" I was like, "No. What do you mean? Is he a good guy now?
Go turned face right there.
He's a champion that doesn't want to get cashed in on this. It makes so much more sense than you're acting like."
It's selfish reasons. Yeah.
So that happens, and then
A bunch
um,
of other people get involved.
I think they start beating up Cena, and then Penta comes out, and then Sammy
Sammy comes
also
in.
comes out. they fight off Braun Breaker. Cena hits an AA read, which is impressive for the age that he is. It's cool
That
that he
was
can still do
awesome.
that
I
stuff.
like that. I like that.
But then Punk gets in the ring, takes down Cena. He's about to go for a cover, but then Rollins stomps him, and then Cena throws him out, goes for the pin. The ref slides in and counts the 3. And I
Hold
was
on
like,
now.
dude,
We skipped a couple things here. When
I don't
Cena and
remember all
Punk
of it,
hug
honestly.
each other.
Oh
Cena
yeah,
and Punk hug each other, and then Cena tries to kick him in the dick, but it didn't work.
Cena did the taunt where he does the face gimmick again, and I was like, dude, come on. He
Yeah.
did the dead eyes in the camera again, and I was like,
It's like they
okay,
both
buddy.
knew when they hugged each other. They were like, yeah, this is not going to end well.
Yeah, so then that's when that happens, and then all the stuff after goes on. But dude, this is the final time we get CM Punk and John Cena. I just wanted a somewhat clean finish. I know Cena was going to cheat to win, but like I wanted a somewhat clean finish for this, and it really sucks that this is the last Punk Cena match.
Yeah, it's rough. Definitely not fun. I wouldn't say it was fun.
So for me, it gets a 2.5.
I don't even know if I rated this. I was so angry.
I was disappointed because again,
I'd give it a 1.5. Okay, let's get some 1.5 stars.
I give it a 2.5 because the first half I enjoyed, and the second half was kind of ass.
That's fair. I didn't really enjoy the match at all. So, I mean, it makes sense. I didn't like the match and I didn't like the shenanigans.
I agree with that. Um, but overall, I would say this is a solid thumbs in the middle for me.
Is it a thumbs in the middle?
I don't think it was bad show. I think it was mid. I don't think it was great.
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs in the middle. It was not perfect, though.
Because like, yeah, main event wasn't great, but then the rest of the show, there's nothing that's as offensively bad. So it balances out a little bit,
Yeah. I just want to give it a thumbs down for the ending, probably.
and that's fair enough. You could do the outro, by the way. My throat is killing me.
All right, go follow us wherever you possibly can. Every single social media platform. Leave a 5-star review on the podcasting platforms. We're on there as well. Uh, go subscribe, like, comment, share on YouTube. See you in the next one. Bye.